Hi, crafty friends. Mary here. I'm working on a card for hashtag fall into August, which is Anna Wight's series for August. I am going to bring out my embossing gun, which I seldom do, even though I like the look of embossing. I just don't do it very often because I just don't like the powder mess that it makes. I just tend to feel like the grittiness lingers for some reason. But I am gonna do it because I'm gonna do some watercoloring on black cardstock, and I am using a die cut paper panel from this Master's Touch mixed media pad, and this is 160-pound paper, and I believe this is the only black cardstock that Master's Touch has in stock. At least that's the only one that I could find in my Hobby Lobby. And Master's Touch is Hobby Lobby's brand. I also have Strathmore's mixed media black, and I haven't worked with their black that much. I think I did a couple of projects a couple of years ago. I have used their mixed media, their regular mixed media, and for the longest time, that was all I did for my cardstock, for my card panels, for my stamping on. But it got to be too expensive, and so I went to their plain extra heavy weight cardstock. And that works fine for most of my cardstock, most of my card bases, and most of my card panels where I do my stamping and stuff, unless I'm watercoloring. But back to this project. So I already die cut the panel. This card panel is just a quarter of an inch smaller than an A2 size card because I wanted the A2 size card to have a white frame. And I am going to stamp with embossing powder or embossing ink. This small stamp from Impression Obsession, and it's CS and CAD 12257, and it's a little skull with flowers. And it's just a cute little skull, and I thought it would be a cute one for fallen, hashtag fall into August, since it's kind of like all things fall related. So I'm gonna just stamp it all over, and then I'm gonna emboss with white embossing powder, and then I'm gonna color using watercolor, metallic and pearlescent watercolors. There's the panel. So now we'll take a top loading card. And this will go on the top like that. And I will put a sentiment on it next time. I think that's it. I like it. I think it shows that any color scheme you use is going to come out looking really cute. Now on this one, I did a lot of splashing because my embossing was very, wow, it was a lot to be desired. It left a lot to be desired. I forgot to prepare the surface for embossing, so I had a lot of little emboss, little the embossing was very rough. I had a lot of embossing all over the place. The powder stuck to outside of the image, so to camouflage it, I did a lot of splashing with the watercolors. On this one, I did prepare the surface, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, leave it clean like that, or not. I'm not sure. But now, I'm going to move this away up to the side, and these dried. Yeah, I'm still happy that I went with the red. I think it's a nice pop of color. So I'm going to I'm going to get a red or a gold. Let me look at my papers. Hi, crafty friends. So I'm back with this panel that I did a couple days ago. I've been through my stash and I can't find a gold cardstock, and I don't really have a lot of cardstock. But I can't find a gold cardstock that matches the gold of the watercolor that I used on it. Nothing really, the tones are off to the golds that I have. So what I'm going to do is I die cut another panel with the same black watercolor. Actually, it wasn't watercolor. It was mixed media paper as this one. And so I did the next size up, which it would be a 1/4 of an inch up. And then the next size up would be a slim card, the actual card base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same watercolor gold that I used on the skulls. I'm going to use it on the edges of this panel, and that'll be my frame. And then I will be assured that I have the matching gold color. So I'm just going to water down my gold. Now, obviously this will be using a lot more of the watercolor, so some people may decide not to do it this way, but it's one easy way to ensure that you're matching your colors. So, and I'm just going to go like this. Not really over putting too much water. I just used initial water that I had on my brush from wetting it to put some on my on the swatch here or on my palette, and then I'm brushing it on here because I want kind of a solid application. If you get too much water on your brush, just let me grab a napkin here. Dry your brush a little bit. And dip into your watercolor so that you get more paint. I'm going to thicken this line over here a little bit. So if I there we go. Rinse off my brush. The panel is almost dry because it dries pretty quick. Put this over here. Let me clean off the table a little. Grab some adhesive. When I work with watercolor paper and watercolor panels, I usually go for my score tape. Well, I prefer my score tape or dry adhesive most of the time, but score tape is good for because it's a good bond, and watercolor paper being so heavy to begin with, I think needs a better bond. So I'm just trying to, and then I have a smaller, I mean, score tape is a little bit more costly. That's why I stock up when sites like scrapbook.com or Amazon has good sales on it. Okay, put this back in here, and now let's see, try to align this as best as I can. I'm not lifting it or anything, I'm just putting it straight down, obviously. It's very crooked. Very crooked, but it is down. Okay, and there it is. So it's a perfect match to the gold that I used on the card, and I love it. So now let's get a base card. Let's see if I have one already ready to go here, or if I have to create a new one. Well, it looks like, oh yeah, I have one. My base card. This is bigger than I needed, so I'll have to trim it down. But and I went with white as a base. I like white base cards to begin with, and since I white embossed it, I like the white. So I'm gonna do just like probably an 1/8 of an inch showing. This time I can just go with a regular tape runner. And this can be a top folding or a side folding card because it doesn't have any direction as of right now, because it's an all over pattern that I stamped. But if I put a front sentiment, then it will have a direction, and I'm not sure if I'll put something on the front or not. Let me grab my trimmer and trim off an eighth and an eighth. Okay. Little smaller. And there it is. There's that card. So it could go this way, or it could go this way. So, and that's the way I'll leave it until I really like how this came out. So I got two cards, and they look different just by coloring it a little differently, by watercoloring the flowers on it a little differently. And I'm not sure which one I like the best. I think they both came out really good. So I really, even though this one has purple and I love purple and I would tend to gravitate towards the purple one, I can't really pick a favorite because they're both really cute. Love the stamp. So 2 cards, 1 stamp, and the stamp again is I had it up here. What did I do with it? Did I put it away? I don't think so, because it was still on my desk. My messy desk. What did I do with my little stamp? Well, it was a skull from Impression Obsession. Oh, here it is. Yes, this little skull from Impression Obsession. Item number C as in cat 12257. 12257. Love it. Very cute. You'll probably see more cards of this as Halloween gets closer. Thanks. Take care.